The growing need for energy in today's society is leading to an energy crisis, which can have devastating impacts on our health, our environment, our economy, and where our energy will come from in the future. It is a result of the misusage of energy by billions of people worldwide. In the industrial age, we started using fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas as a source to power the countless new machines being introduced to our lives. Fossil fuels come from areas like the Middle East and Russia and are sold to big countries like the US. Fossil fuels form from organic material over millions of years. This long formation period places them under the non-renewable resource category, meaning that there is a limited amount of them on the Earth. Today, coal, oil, and gas account for 80% of the world's energy needs. After the start of the industrial age, our use of energy grew exponentially, which leads to many side effects like a damaged environment, depletion of natural resources, health problems, and more. If we do not do something about it now, we could be facing some serious problems in the future.
All over the world, we use an excessive amount of energy. To put this in perspective, the world uses 87 million barrels of oil daily. This number is only expected to grow in the future. By 2030, we are expected to use 116 million barrels of oil every single day. At that rate, we will be using 1 trillion barrels every 23 years. We have not even used 1 trillion barrels up to this point in history. Some say that this exponential rate will have us running out of oil in as little as 40 years. This growing energy consumption is unhealthy for us and our environment. Burning all these fossil fuels results in major impacts on global warming. In 2010, about 79% of the United States' greenhouse gas emissions were from burning fossil fuels. Releasing all this stuff into the air is bad for us as well. All of that smog can result in serious respiratory problems, birth defects, and cancer. In the future, we might not even have an option to burn these fossil fuels in the first place. The biggest oil reserves in history only have about 2 trillion barrels left, and only 170 billion of those barrels are recoverable with today's technology. It's a simple fact that we will eventually run out of oil. At this moment, gas prices are low, but when everyone starts to realize the oil isn't going to last forever, the prices are going to rise. Currently, the average person uses 5% of their paycheck on gas. Raising gas prices can have a snowball effect on everything in our life, causing inflation and lower the demand of products. 1970 was the year of an energy crisis in the United States that hit home for many people. Due to war in the Middle East, gas was not being brought into the United States. For a couple weeks, most gas stations had no gas signs on them, which made prices of everything rise dramatically, and even riots started to break out. Fossil fuels have a direct impact on our economy. The energy crisis is real, and it can affect you directly from the cost of the milk you drink to the air you breathe.
While the energy crisis looks bad, there are ways we can slow down our fossil fuel consumption and wane off our energy addiction. One of the first steps is to simply stop using so much energy. Using smarter products that use less energy can not only save the environment, but money. The cost of making a building completely green pays for itself in the first 12 months. Lots of car companies, tech companies, and appliance companies are starting to become more smart about the amount of energy their products guzzle up. Where we get that energy can also be a huge factor in getting out of the energy crisis. Fossil fuels are a non-renewable resource, but switching to renewables ensures a supply of energy that will always be there, along with a supply of energy that won't hurt the environment and save us money. Some common clean energy sources are solar power, wind power, hydroelectric power, and nuclear power. Renewable energy is a rapidly growing field with scientists researching new possible sources every day. In the future, we may get our energy from giant devices in space that capture sunlight not blocked by the atmosphere, or we could obtain energy from geothermal heat coming off of lava beds. While these ideas seem far off, they are nearer than you think. We need to start fixing the energy crisis now. It doesn't have to start with the smart scientists or big companies, but it can start with you. Many people do not realize the importance of conserving energy. The smallest things can help out in the long run. Opt to ride your bike instead of driving, invest in energy-efficient light bulbs, take shorter showers, or unplug devices when you are not using them.
So how will our future look? We can go two ways, choosing to live a more green life and conserve our energy, or continuing to waste energy even more than we do now. If we choose to continue our energy addiction, our health, environment, and economy will suffer tremendously. We need to start making a change for the better on how much energy we use and where it comes from. Making this change will not only save our next generation, but society as a whole.